Thanks for joining us. This is Hockey Talks. I'm Carl. It's Dave. Tonight we're going to go over the Arizona Coyotes moving to Utah and what it all involves in that and who gets what from that. But first off, Dave, we're going to start off. There's an exceptional status being granted again, second time in WHL history only. Landon Dupont, some of you may have heard of him before. He is a right shot defenseman, tied for third in the CC or CSSHL under 18 prep division of 60 points in 32 games. Also named MVP for scoring, 16 points in 15 tournament games as well. Some of them, some guys actually kind of classify him as close to a Connor Bedard, Cale Makar. As you know, Connor Bedard was also the one of the other guys that were granted exceptional status a few years ago. But do you think he has any likes of or any similarities compared to the two?
He's obviously going to be the next Chelios.
Chris Chelios, yeah, yeah, I'll
Yeah,
take him
yeah.
back.
Oh, people get so excited, and I love it.
Oh
I
yeah,
love it
yeah,
because
that's
there's
good.
so much room for improvement, and that's the big thing about this guy is he's 5'11", 170 pounds, I believe, and he was born in 2009.
Yeah, yeah,
What a
2000,
tank!
yeah.
So, yeah, it's like what were you doing in 2009? You know what I mean? It's hard to
Yeah, it's all
believe,
right. Yeah.
but
Well, what is he?
yeah, this guy,
15 years
he's
old now, right? 15.
yeah,
Yeah.
or he's going to be in May.
Going to be
Yeah.
15 in May. Yeah.
It'll be May 9th or something
Yeah.
like that, May 19th.
Yeah.
So this guy, he's really talented. He's obviously got the 62 points, I believe, in his little bit of games from Calgary, WHL. The other ones that have been rewarded the exceptional status, historically is Aaron Ekblad, and who was that second one there? Sean somebody. Yeah. Anyway, Sean Day.
John Day.
So
That's right.
yeah,
Yeah.
Sean Day. So at the end of it all, it can go either direction, right? You can go Ekblad or Day. I
Yeah.
think some of these kids they get so good so fast, and then they start playing with people that are maybe a little more competitive with them, and it's like they've already hit their roof. And so I guess we're going to find out, right? When this kid gets drafted, is he going to keep
Yeah.
improving? I think through the WHL he'll keep getting better, but the real test comes to the NHL, and sometimes from that point on, it's the people who work really hard or continually work hard that see those those triple stars every single game. What do you think? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm also curious to get your opinion on like what the parents are going through. Imagine putting your 15-year-old through that. It's quite
You
something. Even
know,
though they're one of the best in the world at it, it's interesting to think about.
I would assume the parents are probably pretty excited to have their son get exceptional status and get granted into any or the WHL early. And he's already ranking in the drafts for the NHL, I think come 2029, I do believe. So that that must be pretty exciting for them, I would imagine. As for Landon, I'm pretty sure he's going to be fine in the WHL. He's going to come in there, and if he continues to play the way he's playing, I mean, he's a defenseman. The last time we've seen a defenseman uh, come up this early was, well, I guess in WHL, it's never happened. But so it's going to be exciting to see and see what he can do, see where he goes and gets drafted too. But I guess they're probably going to take it one game at a time and see where they go from there.
Yeah, it's very exciting to see to be able to actually watch this guy throughout the league
Yeah.
and see what happens. I mean, some other likable names who have been granted the exceptional status throughout the CHL was none other than McDavid, Connor McDavid, or McJesus, as some would say, and also Tavares. And I'm pretty sure Tavares is
Yeah.
due for a cup this year, so that paid off. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's might be due for a cup this year. Let's
Oh, yeah, he
hope,
is.
hey. But yeah, speaking of the NHL, we want to talk about this Arizona Coyotes moving to Utah. So last night, given Wednesday night, they were playing the Oilers and they played their final game in Mullet Arena, which is supposed to be a temporary fix until they got an arena. And they just could not form anything. They could not find anything. They're waiting on a bid for an arena, and that seems to be halting. So I think they just figured they had enough and they decided to move the team to Salt Lake City. It's gonna they
4,600 people is plenty for an NHL team, isn't it?
plenty, right? And they and most of the time they couldn't even fill it. So
Yeah, it's
it's
a
just
college. It's a college place. Like, come
so
on.
okay, the last Blades game I was at, I believe we had just over 10,000 people there. So Arizona and NHL team,
And that's in Saskatoon, for
and
those who
that's
don't
in
know.
Saskatoon. If they don't know, Saskatoon. Yes.
A
We put
population of
10,000 people in a
220.
building,
Yeah,
and Arizona couldn't put 4,000 people in a building. So,
yeah.
but the house was packed last night. There's a lot of emotions going on, a lot of
Well, they
tears,
went
and
their
they
last
said,
4 games. Yeah, 3 wins and 1 loss, I believe.
yeah, they won last
Like,
night too.
why do they save it to the?
Nah, well, I don't even know. I don't think it was just the play, maybe,
No, it
but
wasn't.
it's just people didn't show up and things weren't done right
So
in Arizona. Things needed to change, and they didn't even have a proper home. So I
so
think it was
let's
about time to figure this out and get them
let's
somewhere
start
else.
here.
And Utah
Let's
was
start here. Do you think Utah can handle a team? Because I've been reading
absolutely.
but I've been reading a lot of people's opinions, and they think it could short term, but long term, they're just not
Yeah.
seeing it. I
So
think it's the third largest growing market in the US right now as well. So it does have that population growth. There are the Olympics coming in 2034,
that's
which
what
I
they're
think
betting
that
on.
the
Yeah.
owners are playing on. I know for us, us folk, about 10 years, it seems like a long, long, long time. But when you're planning for that, and you kind of see it come to fruition, putting those things in motion now could make a lot of sense down the road in 2034. So first
Yeah.
of all, yeah, do you think Utah can handle a team?
Absolutely. I think they can handle it. Right now, they host the Utah Jazz, and that's where they're going to place them for now in that building, right? So they're going to make some
Hmm.
upgrade and some change and stuff like that. Plus, like you said, they have the Olympics coming up, which they think they're going to get that bid for the Olympics, right? So they're going to make some upgrades, some changes, and they're going to be able to make it so they can host an NHL game in that. So right now, that building was designed for basketball and basketball only. So once they do that, I think absolutely, I think that's going to be a market for the NHL, and I think it's going to thrive there. Honestly, people thinking that, well, in a few years it might die off. Well, if you look at Vegas, it's booming more than ever right now. Nobody really thought Vegas was going to be a hot spot. There's just too many other things going on in Vegas, right? And if you look at it now, it's probably more popular than most of the franchises around the league right now. So to say, well, I think Utah and Salt Lake City is which they decided that they're going to play in Salt Lake. There's no name or nothing yet, but I think that's going to be a great franchise, and I think that's going to be a good spot to be for the NHL. Um, Now, given Utah, there's a lot of they're gonna what I heard is they're gonna wait to decide on a name for Utah.
Hmm.
So right now they're thinking they're just gonna be the Utah probably
Team.
hockey team or hockey club, Utah
Okay.
HC. Um,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I mean, I think they need to get a team before they start. Get a name before they start so they can do jerseys. Let's not do this whole Utah hockey club team. Come on. You can think of a
Yeah.
name before the season starts next year. I think.
Yeah.
What do you think? You think?
Well, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, back to the question of if Utah could handle a team, I'd be curious to see if, when push comes to shove, if a similar thing that happened in Atlanta would happen in Utah, where some other clubs that are more financially profitable end up getting more time because of that, because the owner of the
Mhm.
place is making more money.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, I think they need to pick a team name, and in my opinion, the fact that they don't have a team name yet doesn't really show any interest in it.
Well,
Maybe
I
I'm
mean,
overthinking it, but you'd
from
think that if these people are buying this thing for all that money, they'd have a team name kind of ready to go.
yeah.
Uh, you know, just if I did,
Just
I would. You know, I
yeah,
get I'm not a billionaire, but
yeah. I mean, for us, it happened really quick, but I mean, it just seemed like everything happened so quickly, right?
yeah,
Nobody
and they
really
don't have
knew
a team
about it.
name.
I think
Like,
people knew about it ahead of time. And I honestly think that this whole thing leaked out before Gary Bettman wanted to actually come out with it, right?
oh, maybe,
So,
yeah.
yeah. So, I mean, it's just, I mean,
How do you think it leaked out?
I don't know. I think it's just kind of it's start rumbling, started going around with the owners and stuff like that, and people started
Yeah.
hearing and getting word and all that kind of stuff. And I think everything started coming together, and people heard about it a lot sooner than Gary Bettman wanted everybody to hear it. I think he wanted a little more time to be able to set things in place and get things rolling before everybody found out about it. But that
Hmm.
being the fact that uh Arizona, the team and stuff, found out what I heard, found out a week before the this all was gonna happen. So a week before
Doesn't
the end
that
of the
make you
season.
think that something else could be at play too, though?
Yeah. But
Like, I
I
don't know, this
mean,
whole, like, if we start talking about the money part of it, like the $1.2 billion for the team, a team they paid 450 million for. So I think the way it works is they're buying the team for $1 billion, and 200 million is going towards owners for a relocation fee or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
Arizona's keeping the name, keeping the logo, and yada
yeah.
yada,
Keeping all
all
the
that stuff.
history. Yeah. And
Yeah, and
keeping the
so this
history
this
of not only them, but the Winnipeg Jets history too before,
yeah,
right?
so
So they have
so
all that kind of history.
Alex Morello's got this billion now in his pocket, or well, soon or whatever, whenever the
Yeah.
the I's are dotted and the
Transaction.
T's are crossed.
Yeah.
There's $1 billion out there, so it could go a couple ways. It's like, well, maybe the $1 billion is for the stadium that they want to rebuild, because uh, I believe that after 5 years, if they do create another team or a location for another team, they can pay that $1 billion back and have an expansion draft
Yeah.
to kind of enter the league again. So, in my opinion, if I was Bettman, man, this guy must have racked up the debt or just really been a really pain in the butt to work around. And Bettman might have talked everybody into saying, okay, let's relocate the team. And then we'll
Yeah.
give him this 5 year with which he'll never fulfill. So they
Yeah.
pretty much paid $1 billion to get that team out of there.
Yeah.
Or Bettman is using this as a way to really expand the league, and hopefully Alex goes and builds the place
Yeah.
and then has the pays the billion to get an expansion draft on there. Well, I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Like, first of all, I guess the $1 billion being used, or 1.2 billion, but $1 billion going towards Alex versus the $450 million he paid, when this guy, this Alex guy, had a hard time even paying hotel fees for his guys, nonetheless even buying sticks or paying for the sticks. So
Yeah.
he doesn't have a good credit, we'll say, or good
Well,
rapport.
well, I
So
think
yeah, what's your opinion on all that, I guess? Give me all of
well
the angles.
I think that if it's going to work with him, he's got to have somebody with that's on his side, on his staff with deep pockets, right? I don't think he's going to be able to do this alone. As like you mentioned, right? He has a hard time paying fees. Nobody wants to deal with him. He's been kicked out of multiple arenas.
And you could even blame it on the state, the state gives him a hard
Well,
time, sure, but it still
oh,
makes it
sure,
hard on him, right? Like he
but
still
there's a
can't make
reason the
it.
state is. There's a reason the state is giving them a hard time, right? Even like they offered like this new arena that they didn't want to he was trying to figure out how they're going to supply water, sewer, and all the amenities to it, right? Phoenix just said, nope, not touching it. Nope, you're on your own. We find somebody else. People don't want to deal with him. And I
Yeah.
think that's going to be a problem. So if they want this to happen, Gary Bettman, of course, wants it to happen. I believe he will make it happen, but he's got to find somebody with deep pockets, somebody that knows how to run the franchise. And if once that happens and once that gets into place, then they'll be moving forward. But until then, him running it on his own, absolutely not. I don't think
But
that's
that's
ever going to
that's
happen.
another interesting
And
thing is this 5 year thing.
yeah,
Alex can't sell it. He can't move it. He can't do nothing with it, not unless
no,
there's some crazy, law stuff you can do. But
yeah,
Batman himself said it's a personal thing. It's only for Alex.
yeah,
So
absolutely. But
yeah,
he can still own it and get people in to help him, right? That's exactly. He can
like
still get people in to help him,
yeah.
which
And in
is, I
my eyes, it
mean,
just
it's his
seems like
main
a
thing.
loan. It seems like a loan to me.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, and like let's say, I mean, let's say he doesn't make it work. Alex doesn't make it work. Okay, well now you just got bought out at, 2 times, 2.5 times what you bought the team for, and
Yeah.
you're happy and all your debts are paid and all those hotel fees can be paid. Or you pay $1 billion back and you have another team
Yeah.
with which through the expansion draft, who knows if it's better or not. But at the end of the day, you know, it just seems like a win-win for him.
Yeah. Do you think he's going to keep the $1 billion and just kind of walk away? Which he might
I
do.
mean,
He might do
well, I
if that's the
yeah,
case. But I think
I
Gary
don't really
Bettman's
know him very
gonna.
well, but a lot of people think that he's just I don't want to throw shade, but a lot of people think that he's the type of guy that would just take it and clear the bills and walk away.
Mhm.
So I think if we see him win that bid on that land for what was it for 250 or 200 million or something like
Yeah, I
that?
think 250. I think that's
Yeah.
what it was.
If
Yeah.
we see him win that bid, and that might even be something else. They might have had like a second or third bidder that comes along and now they know kind of in the street, hey, we got somebody else who wants that land for $500 million. Well, now they're like, well, I don't have like Alex would be, I don't got $500 million. Like all my stuff is already in equities and other areas,
Yeah.
debt. And then Gary's like, well, hang on here. How do we get you out of this? Okay, we'll give you a loan. Now you can use that loan to win that land. So I think
Yeah.
that's a key thing that needs to happen if we want to see this team come back in 5 years, is they'd have to win that bid.
Yeah, absolutely. Because they need a place to play, and Mullet Arena is not an option for if the
No,
team comes back.
not for an
Absolutely
NHL
not.
team.
Absolutely not.
No.
That should have never been an option in the beginning. But
Hmm.
I mean, they made do with it for now, and it was supposed to be temporary. And one thing led to another, and they were in it for what, 3 years now? Mull Arena, at least two
Something like that,
seasons for
yeah.
sure, which is way too long. Way too long. It should have been dealt with before, and I think that's why this whole transaction started forming, and that's why they're moving to Utah now because things just weren't getting done. Things weren't happening and they needed something to change. So we can't play in a
And
university arena with 400 people, 4,400 seats, and not even fill it.
yeah.
That's not a good look on the league, and the league knows it. So I think that's why that change came so quickly and so fast. So, but I mean, we'll see where this moves on. See if this goes forward. Um, we'll probably find more off after the playoffs and the off season. Um, once everything's said and done, the Stanley Cup's handed out.
To the
Yeah,
Leafs. It's coming to Toronto this year.
the Stanley Cup. Yeah. Do you want to talk about the playoffs a little bit? Talk
Sure,
about the
man.
playoffs. Everything's
I
sealed, I
think
think.
one twist that neither of us would have called, not unless you mentioned it, I'm not sure, but Toronto against Boston, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, another
What?
rematch.
Florida
Toronto and
came
Boston.
back and fell in first?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Holy
They won.
smokes, folks. That's
Crazy, hey?
insane.
So it's
That's
gonna be a
insane. So now this changes everything
yeah,
because Florida's going against Tampa Bay. So we do have that, I think, right?
Battle of Florida.
Yeah, we have the Battle of Florida
Yeah,
first
first
round.
round. But that just
That's
eliminates
easy.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, it eliminates it, but it also means that maybe Toronto can make it through the
Hey,
second round now.
hey, there's gotta be
Because there's
Boston.
no Battle of Florida that's going to come third round now,
Yeah, yeah,
So I'm very excited about that. I think the franchise history between the Bruins and the Leafs are going to be great, and I think it's going to be kind of fresh because the Leafs are so used to playing Florida teams. So
yeah.
playing Boston is going to be a refresher, and we'll see
Refreshing.
how the players we'll see how the players perform. I think last night or 2 nights ago, Toronto played Tampa Bay. Matthews had a bunch of shots, but not one goal.
Yeah, last night.
So that was it. So we'll see how they do against Boston.
Yeah, Matthews finishing with 69 points, eh? Almost there. Oh,
Goals.
69 goals, sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
just
my
couldn't
favorite
quite get
number.
that. Couldn't quite get that.
69 goals, 42 assists,
There we go.
420 points. No, that's
Kucherov with
McDavid.
that's McDavid.
Unless
Kucherov,
Edmonton, unless McDavid gets like 12 points tonight, I think 12 points, then Kucherov is number
Kucherov
one.
sealed it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure
McKinnon
Kucherov.
can also get, I think, 6 points tonight, and he can pull ahead.
Yeah,
So
I'm
who
pretty
knows?
sure. You never
Maybe they pull
know.
goalies.
Edmonton and
If that
Colorado
was
are
them, I
playing.
would.
Edmonton and Colorado are playing tonight. Final game of the season.
Yeah.
So
I heard they're pulling goalies though.
hey, you know what? Do it up.
It
Doesn't
can
matter
happen.
anyways. Although there is still stuff to be decided in the West right now.
Is there?
Well, we know Canucks are going to play Nashville. Dallas, Vegas, and LA both play tonight. If Vegas wins, they will be playing Edmonton.
Okay.
If
And if they
Vegas
lose,
loses and LA wins, then LA will be
they'll be
playing
playing
Edmonton and Dallas will playing
Oh,
Vegas. Yeah. But we already
oh
know.
dear.
Yeah, so there's still stuff to be decided tonight.
Both those teams are so threatening.
Oh yeah, I know. I would love to see a Dallas and Vegas, I think.
I would rather see I would rather see Edmonton and Vegas. I would rather see
Ooh.
Dallas and LA, to be honest.
Yeah, Edmonton and Vegas would be a great
Edmonton
series.
Vegas would be better than
Yeah.
than we think it would be because you have this
Yeah.
team, like we said earlier, 4 weeks ago or whatever.
Yeah.
In Vegas, they have some people coming off the bench, we'll say.
Yeah.
And when you put that against Edmonton, yeah, it's gonna be a clash.
Oh, it'd be a good matchup. And plus,
Yeah.
yeah, whoever comes out of that series, if that series happens, is going to be really beat up, ready for the next round against the Canucks, where we
Yeah.
can beat them up.
Hopefully against the
Hopefully.
Canucks.
Yeah. Oh yeah, hopefully. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just counting that I shouldn't count it, but Vancouver, Nashville, probably the best odds for Vancouver. But we will see. We'll see what
I would
happens.
say too.
The other West is what? Colorado and Winnipeg are guareed. Winnipeg has
I'm,
one
believe it
out.
or not favoring Colorado at this point anymore.
I don't know. Canucks and Winnipeg play tonight. It was a tie game last I checked, but I think
Winnipeg's strong, like,
they are.
and
you got
so is all
Hellebuck.
the other teams.
Got Hellebuck in there,
Oh, yeah,
which is playing phenomenal right now. So
yeah.
um,
Obviously, you just got to skate into them.
yeah, that's it. That's it. That's it. That's how you score goals.
Yeah, skate into the goalie.
Yep.
That's how Hyman does it.
Annihilate him. No, don't do that. Don't do that. That would not be a good outcome.
How do you think actually Hyman's going to do in the playoffs now or compared to the season? Because I've been thinking about that for a little bit. I think he's not going to. I don't think he's going to be able to generate as much as well. Obviously, in the playoffs, it's always harder. But what I mean is, I don't think he's going to be able to generate as much in front of the net as he is during the season.
Yeah, I think it's going to slow down a little bit, but
Because they're going to cover him so hard.
Yeah, and McDavid too. They're going to pounce on McDavid. Remember if it happened last time? McDavid still finds a way, but
well, McDavid's
it's slowed
best
down.
in the world.
Slowed down, absolutely. But
yeah,
it's yeah, they're definitely going to slow down. I think it's going to be those.
But like, if you put two guys on McDavid, I feel like McDavid would be affected like less, just because he's so freaking talented and good and fast. But if you put two guys on Hyman, I mean, he doesn't have the same like 12 out of 10 caliber that McDavid does.
No.
For goal scoring, absolutely, but I'm talking about for everything else. So I'm saying they start laying on the body, they start covering him, they start doing those dirty things that they don't get called on. They start holding up his stick. You know, and and McDavid can still develop because he's freaking fast and amazing. But Hyman, I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah, we'll find out, I guess.
We will. But yeah,
it should be an exciting playoff. Should be. It starts Saturday,
April 20th, 420, baby.
420. Good time to start the playoffs.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, okay. Well, looking forward to the playoffs. Hopefully we have some good battles, good matchups. We'll find out later tonight. Last game of the regular season, the last day of the regular season, and we'll see what kind of matchups we're going to starting this weekend, April 20th. As for tonight, that is all the time we have for now. Thanks again for watching, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Pick a number between 1 and 100.
50.
Okay, if you're still watching, comment 50.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you for watching Hockey Talks. Have a good night.